Welcome back to Snippet Coder, and we are back with another video. In this video, we will integrate the CRUD API which we created in our last video. So in this video, we will consume that API in our Flutter application, in our add to cart and the cart listing page. So this is our application. So suppose if we click on any of the product, here we are getting the add to cart button, and from here we will select the quantity, and here we will click on the add to cart. Now we will go back and we will see that product has been added or not. Here you can see we are getting the products here. So here you can see the product has been added to the cart. So this is our cart listing page, and here you can see we are getting all the carts, all the items here, and then we have that quantity button, and here we have the delete button. So if we click on the minus sign, it will decrease the quantity, and if we again click on any of the quantity, it will decrease it. Also we can, if we click on the remove button, it will remove the item here. So here you can see we are getting a total amount, then we have the proceed to checkout, and that proceed to checkout we will cover in our next video with the payment gateway integration and all. So before starting the video, if you are new to our channel, subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button and click the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos. Thank you. So first of all, we have to add the model files, and for that we have to go to the lib folder, and there we have that model folder, and inside that we have to create new file, and name of the file we will create as a cart.dart file. Here we will create the class @freeze, and we will make the class as abstract class cart with $_$ cart. Then here we have to create a factory cart. Here we have to add the variables. First one is a required field, string type of user ID. Then we have a required field, list type of cart product, and this one also we have to create, and here we will put products. Then we have a required field, string type of cart ID. Here we have equal to _cart. Here we have factory cart dot from JSON, map type of string, dynamic JSON is equal to $$ cart from JSON, and here we will provide JSON. Now here we will add the cart extension. Here we will put extension cart extension on cart, and here we have to do this for showing the grand total of all the products which we have in our cart. Here we will put double get grand total, and from here we will put return products dot map e dot product price, and before that we have to first create that cart product file also, and for that we have to go to our model folder. Here we will add cart _product dot file. Here also we will create @freeze abstract class cart product with $$ cart product. Here we have to create the factory here, cart product. Here we require two things. First one is a required double quantity, then we have required product, and this will be our product model. We have to import here. Here we will put equal to _cart product. Here we will write factory cart product dot from JSON map string dynamic JSON $$ cart product from JSON, and here we will pass JSON, and here we have to write that part, and this will be required to generate the auto generate file for the freeze cart _product dot freeze dot dart. The second one will be cart _product dot g dot dart, and here we will write part cart _product dot g dot dart. So now we will use this cart product over there, and here we will import the file, and here we will put e.product dot product price dot fold 0 p, c p plus c. So what it will do that sum of all the product prices in our product list, and it will give us our grand total. And here also we have to write part cart dot freeze dot dart. Then we have part cart dot g dot dart. So it will be used to generate the auto generated file. So before running the command to generate this model file, we have to do some modification in our existing model also, in the category and in that product also. And there we have to make some of the field as a optional, so that whenever this cart model is called, those fields are also coming, but some fields are not coming, which is not required. and for that we have to go to our category.dart file, and here the category image we have to make it as a nullable. Here we will put, and the second change we have to do to our product.dart file, and for that we have to go to our product.dart file, and here in the product short description we will make it as a nullable. Same we have to do for the product SKU also, in the product type, in the stock status also. So now we will run the command to generate these model files. So this is the command we will run. So here we are getting some error, so let's see what the issue is. So here we have to import that package for the freeze package. Same we have to do here also, and we will rerun the command. So here you can see that model file has been generated. So now let's move further. So now we will modify our API service file for adding the functions which require to integrate our CRUD API with our Flutter application, and before that we have to go to our config.dart file, and here we will add the endpoint here. We will write here static constant string CRUD API is equal to API/CRUD. So now we have to go to our main.dart file also, and there we have to add the navigator key, because the navigator key is required in case we have to redirect user from our service file to our login page. In case the token is expired, we have to redirect the user to the login page, and for that we have to access the navigator in our API service file, and for that we have to write a code here, and here we will write final global key. Here we will write navigator state key is equal to global key navigator state, and here we have to remove this constant and we have to use it here, and here we will put navigator key and we will assign this one. So now we will go to our API service file. Here we will first create the function to get card, and here we will put future type of, and return type will be card here, and we will import here the model file get card, type will be async. Here first we have to get the login details from our shared service, where login details is equal to await of shared service dot login details, and here we have to get the request headers, map type of string request headers is equal to, and the first one will be content type application JSON. Then we have the authorization, and here we have to pass our token with the basic $. Here we have login detail dot data dot token dot toString. Here we have to put the exclamation sign. Now here we will get the URL, where URL is equal to URI dot http config dot API URL config dot card URL, that is card API. Here we will write where response is equal to await client dot get request. Here we have to pass URL, then we have to pass the headers here, request headers. Here we will check if response dot status code is equal to 200, that means request is successful, and here we will write where data is equal to JSON decode response dot body. Here we will return card dot from JSON, and here we have to pass data because inside that data we have that all the cart informations. In the else we will check if response dot status code is equal to 401, that is unauthorized, that means the token is expired. Then we will redirect user to the login page. Here we will write navigator, so here we will put dot, so we are not getting that key, so let's see what the issue is. So now we will go to the main.dart file, and here instead of putting here inside the my app, we have to put outside the class, and now here if we import here we are getting here. So now we will put here dot current state dot push name and remove until. We'll put the route here /login. So what it will do, if we are getting the status code as a 401, that is unauthorized, then we are redirecting user to the login page from here inside from our API._service.dart file. That's why we have added this one, that is navigator key over here in the main.dart file. In the else condition we will return here null. So what we are doing here, we have created one function that is get card, and the return type will be future type of card model, and we are making it as a nullable here. And here we are just creating a login details variable with our shared service dot login details. Then here we have the request headers. There we are just passing content type. Then we have the authorization key. We are passing here that basic token. Here we have the URL here, and here we are just passing API URL. Then we have the cart API. Here we are just calling client.getRequest by passing the URL, and here we are just passing the headers here. Then here we are just checking if that status code is 200. That means we are getting the data from the server. Then here we are just getting one variable with that JSON decode by passing response.body. Then here we are just returning cart.fromJSON, and here we are just passing data with this data items. In the else condition, we are checking if the user unauthorized. We are just redirecting user to the login page. In the else condition, we are returning here null. So next function will be our add cart item, and for that we have to just copy this one and we will paste here, and we will change it to add cart item. In the variables, in the parameters, we will put here product ID and quantity, and return type be bool. And here the URL will be same, and in the request we have to make it as a post request here because we are just posting some data here. Here we have to pass body with JSON encode, and we will get the object here. Products, we have to send that products array. Inside the product array we have to create the object here with product, and we have to pass this product ID here. Then we have the quantity here. We will put here quantity. So we can use the same function by adding the multiple items also, but in our case we are just adding the single item at a time, and rest of the things are same here. And here inside that status code 200, we will just return here true. That means the item has been successfully added, and here rest of the things are same. So what we are doing here, we have created one function with the name as a add cart item, and we have two parameters. First one is a product ID, then we have a quantity, and the return type will be boolean type of, and here we are just getting the token. We are passing in our authorization headers. Then we have our URL. Then we have the response here. We are just calling here client.postRequest by passing the URL. Then we have the headers here. Then we have the body here. Inside the body we are just doing the JSON encode by passing our object of products in the form of array. Here we are just passing a product ID. Then we have the quantity. Here we are checking if status code is 200. That means successfully added. Else in the case of 401 we are redirecting user to our login page. In the else condition we are just returning here null. We will copy this function again and we will paste here, and we will rename as a remove cart item. Here we have to pass product ID and the quantity, and here we will change it to delete. Then we have our JSON encode. We have to just remove this array, and here we will change it to product ID, and rest of the things are same. So what we did here, we have just changed the body part to our product ID and the quantity, and here we are just checking the status code 200. Then we have our status code 401, and rest of the things are same. So our API file is ready, API service file is ready. So now let's move further, and we will create our river pod integration of the state management and all in our application. We will go to our application folder. Inside that we have our state folder, and here we will create one file, and name of the file will be cart_state.file, and here we have to write @freeze, and we will make the class here cart state with $$ cart state. Then we have a constant factory cart state. We have two variables here we have to pass. First one is a cart model. Then we have the default value false, and this variable will be our bool type of is loading, and will be used for check if the data is getting load or not, is equal to _cart state. And here we have to import, and also we will write here part cart_state.freeze.file, and here also we will generate that files here by running the command. So here we forgot to put the semicolon. So now again we have to run the command. So now the file has been generated successfully, and here we have to import model for our cart model. So now we will create our notifier. Here we will create a new file, that is cart_notifier.file. Here we will write class cart notifier extend state notifier. Here we will put a cart state, and here we will create the object for final APS service. Here we will create the constructor cart notifier, this dot underscore APS service super constant cart state. Here we have to put here underscore here also, and here we have to create a function future type of void get cart items, and we will make it as async here, and we will call this function here so that on the first load it will get all the cart items and all. So here we have to set the state for the loading as a true. That means we are going to picking the data from our database, and for that we have to just make the loader as a true here. State is equal to state dot copy width is loading true. Then here we have to call final cart data is equal to await underscore APS service dot get cart. Here we will copy state is equal to state dot copy width cart model, and we will assign this data here, and here we will do the state for our loading also because we got all the data from the API. So now we have to make the loader as a false here. State dot copy width is loading false. So what we are doing here, we are created one function that is get cart items, and we are just changing the state for our is loading as a true because by default it is false. Then here we are just calling the APS service for get cart. Then whatever the data we are getting, we are assigning it with our state.copy with cart model. We are assigning this data. Then we are just changing that loader state also by putting as a false here. So next function will be future type of void add cart item. Here we have to pass product ID, quantity, async. We are making as a async function. Here we will just call await underscore APS service dot add cart, and we will pass this variables here. After that the item has been added, we will just call here await get cart items, and we will pick the latest item from our database. So our next function will be for the remove cart item, and we'll put here future type of void remove cart item. We have two parameters here, product ID, then we have the quantity, and we will make it as async here. Here we will just call here await underscore APS service dot remove cart item. We will pass product ID, quantity. Now here we have to remove that particular item from our collection, and for doing that we have to first check here where is cart item exist state dot cart model dot products dot first where. Here we will put exclamation sign, and here we will check if element dot product ID is equal to this product ID. Then we have to create one variable for where updated items is equal to state dot cart model. Here we will remove that item, items updated items dot products dot remove, and we will remove this item. After that we will change the state here. State is equal to state dot copy with cart model updated items. So what we are doing here, we have created one function remove cart item. We are passing a product ID and quantity. Then we are just calling here remove cart item in the APS service. Then here we are just checking if that particular item exists or not in our products, existing products. Then we are created one variable for the updated items, and then we are just removing that particular found item from our collection, and after that we are just updating the state here with our updated cart model. So now we will get the last function here, and here we will create future type of void update quantity. Here we will add product ID, quantity type, and we will make this function as async here. Here we will write where cart item is equal to state dot cart model dot products dot first where, and here we will check if element dot product ID is equal to product ID, and we will put here where updated items is equal to state dot cart model, and here we will check what type of update we are sending here. We have to increase the quantity or we have to decrease the quantity, and here we will check if type is equal to decrease, that is minus here. Then we will just call here await APS service dot remove cart item, and we will pass the product ID and the quantity. We will pass here 1. It will decrease that quantity from our API by calling this remove cart item, because that handling we already did in our APS service in our last video. If you have not watched that video, I will recommend before implementing this video code, you have to just follow the previous video by creating the API for the cart. Then only you can proceed with this Flutter application. And here we will check if cart item dot quantity is more than 1. If the quantity is more than 1, we will just remove that particular item, that particular quantity from our existing products. And here we will write cart product. Cart product is equal to cart product quantity. We have to pass here cart item dot quantity -1, and this product we have to pick from our cart item dot product. Then here we will call update items dot products dot remove cart item, and here we will pass cart item. So what it will do, it will remove that item, and here we have to put the exclamation sign. So what it will do, it will remove that item, and we will add the new item here with the updated quantity. Updated items dot products dot add, and we will add this one. In the else condition, we will just call here updated items dot products dot remove, and we will remove this item because we don't have the enough quantity in our particular product, so that's why we have to just remove that entry from our database. And here in the else condition, we will just call here await. In the case of the increasing quantity, we will just call here add cart item, and here we will call await underscore APS service dot add cart item, and the quantity we will pass here 1. And here also we will do the same. We will just copy this and we will pass here, and here instead of doing the minus we have to increase here, and rest of the things are same. We will remove this item and we will add the new item with the updated quantity, and after that we will just change the state here. State is equal to state dot copy with cart model, and we have this updated items. So what we are doing here, we have this function update quantity. There we have product ID, quantity and type. Then we are just checking here the cart item by providing the product ID. We are checking here if we found the item. Then we have just created one variable for the updated item with the state.cart model, and here we are checking if that type is minus, that means we are decreasing the quantity here. And then we are just calling here APS service dot remove cart item. We are just passing the product ID and we are just passing the quantity as a 1 here. We can also remove the multiple quantity also if required. And here we are just checking if the cart item dot quantity is more than 1, that means the existing quantity is more than 1. Then we are just creating here one object for the cart product, and then in the quantity we are just calling here cart item dot quantity -1. Then we have the product here, we are just calling it cart item dot product. Then we are just removing that item and we are just re-adding the new item with the new updated quantity. In the else condition, we are just removing the item from the array, and here in the else condition of that type plus, that means we are increasing the quantity. We are just calling here APS service dot add cart item. We are just passing the product ID and the quantity we are passing as a 1 here. Then we are just creating the object here for the cart product. Then here from the products we have to remove that cart item, and here we are just adding the new item as a cart product by increasing the quantity. Then here we are just updating a state here. So our cart notifier is also ready. So now let's move further and we will add this one in our provider file also, and we have to go to our provider.dot file, and here we will write final cart items provider is equal to state notifier cart state. Here we have the reference, we are calling a cart notifier, we are passing a ref dot watch, and before that we have to import here this one also, and here we will pass APS service, and here we have to write state notifier provider. So what we are doing here, we have created that cart items provider here by calling here state notifier provider, and we are just passing a cart notifier and the cart state, and then we are just calling here the cart notifier by providing in the constructor the reference.watch of APS service. So now let's move further, and now we will modify or design our UI to integrate these provider files and API integration and all. So now we will modify our existing widgets. First of all, we have to go to our widget, and now we have to go to our component folder, and there we have to modify our widget underscore custom stepper. And here, instead of just returning that widget.value, we have to return here the object, and here we have to change it to the object, and here we have to pass quantity as a first parameter. Here we have widget.value, then we have the type here, and this one is the remove sign, that is decrease quantity, and the type will be minus. Same, we have to copy this one and we have to paste here, and here we will change it to plus sign. So basically what it will do, we are just passing here two variables. First one is a quantity, and we are passing that quantity here. The type we are passing as a plus, and here we are passing as a minus. In case user click on that minus sign, that is decrease the quantity, and according to that it will remove that quantity from our database, and here in the case of the plus sign, it will increase the quantity in our database. Now in the next, we have to modify our product detail page, and for that we have to go to the pages, and there we have product detail pages, and here in the stepper where we are using a stepper, we have to modify, and here we will change it to quantity. Here we have to create one variable, and type of quantity is equal to 1, and here we will change it to quantity. In the onChange event, we have to pass here quantity is equal to value quantity. So here we have two items. First one is quantity, then we have the type here. So that's why we have to put a value, and we are just fetching quantity from here. Then here in the onPress event, we have to just call here final cart view model is equal to ref.read, and here we have cart items provider dot notifier. Then from here we will just call cart view model dot add cart item, and we'll pass here model dot product ID. Then here we have the quantity. So what it will do, it will just call the add cart event. So now we have to go to a visit folder, and there we have to create a new visit. Here we will create visit underscore cart underscore item dot file. Here we will create class cart item visit. We will extend with stateless visit. Here we have constant, and we will get a constructor here cart item visit. First one is a key, then we have a required field of this dot model, then we have this dot on quantity update, then we have this dot on item remove. Here we have super key. Here we have to create final cart product model, then we have final function of nullable on quantity update, then we have final function on item remove. Then here we have to create one visit cart item UI. Here we have to pass build context, and from here we will return row visit. Here we have the cross-axis alignment, and we are using a cross-axis alignment dot start. Then we have the children's here. First one will be our image of that product image. Here we are just using a container. The width we are using here 100. Then we have the alignment, and we are using an alignment dot center. Then we have our child here, and we are using an image dot network. We will check here if model dot product image is not equal to empty. Then we will pick from our model dot product dot full image path, and we have to import here product dot file. Else we will put here empty, or here instead of putting here empty, we can also show that any placeholder image also in case there is no image for any product. Then we have the height here, and we are using 100. Then we have our fit, we are using a box fit dot fill, and we will put this container inside with the padding from left to right, and we will put here 0 with the left top 10, right 10, and bottom 5. After that we will use here size box. Width we are using at 230. Then we have the child here, and we are using a column visit. Here we have the children's here, and here we have the main axis alignment, and we are using a main axis alignment dot space between. Then we have the cross axis alignment, and we are using cross axis alignment dot start. Here we have the children's here. We are using a text widget, and we are showing here model dot product name. Then we have the style here, and we are using a constant text style. Color, we are using a colors dot black color. Then we have the font weight, and we are using a font weight dot bold. Then we have to show the price here, and we will show the currency first, $, config dot, and we have to import this file also, dot currency. Then we have $, model dot product price to string. Here we have the style, and we are using a text style. Color, we are using a colors dot red color. Then we have the font weight, we are using a font weight dot bold. Here we put constant. Here we have to use the row widget. Main X alignment, we are using a main X alignment dot space between. Then we have a cross X alignment, we are using a cross X alignment dot center. Then we have the children's here, and the first one will be our custom stepper. And here we have to put the lower limit as a 1, upper limit as a 20. Step value will be 1. Icon size will be 15.0. Then we have the value we are picking from our model dot quantity dot to int. Then we have our on change event. Here we have the value, and from here we will just call here on quantity update, and we will pass here model. Then we have the value quantity. Then we have the value type. After that, we will put the size box for the spacing, constant size box width 20. Then we have to put here the icon for the remove. We will use the gesture detector. Child, we are using a constant icon dot delete icon. Color, we are using a colors dot red color. Then we have the on type event. Here we have to write on item remove, and we have to pass the model here, and we have to wrap it with our padding here, padding only top 5. And here we are getting some error, so here the name is incorrect, and here also we will change it to this one. And here we have to create a widget for that our build. We will put here override. Then we have our widget build, and here we have build context, and from here we will return card widget. Here we have the elevation 0. Then we have the margin, and we'll put a constant edge insert dot symmetric horizontal 5, vertical 5. Then we have the child here. Then here we have the container. Here we have the height, we are putting here 140. Then we have the padding, we are putting a constant edge insert dot all 10. Then we have the decoration, and we will put here constant box decoration. Color, we are using a colors dot white color. Then we have the child here, and we will pass this cart item UI. So visit card item is also ready. So now let's move further, and now we will create our cart page. We will go to our pages, and there we have to create a new page. Name of the page will be cart underscore page.dart file. So here we have to make the page as a consumer stateful widget, and before doing that we have to make the page as a stateful widget, and we will change it to cart page. Here we will change it to consumer stateful widget, and here we will change it to consumer state. Here we will remove this state. Here we will change it to cart page state. Here we have to create some widgets, and the first widget will be widget underscore build cart items. Here we have list, cart product, cart products, widget reference. From here we will return list view dot builder, and here we have to import. Here we have list view dot builder. Here we have shrink wrap true. Then here we have the physics. We are using here constant clamping scroll widget. Then we have the scroll direction, and we are using a axis dot vertical. Then we have the item count, and we are using a cart products dot length. Then here we have our item builder. Here we will put context index, and from here we will return cart item widget. Here we have the model, and we will pass here cart products index. Then we have our on quantity update. Here we have model quantity. Then we have our type here, and our model type will be cart product. And here we have final cart view model is equal to reference dot read cart item provider dot notifier, and from here we will call cart view model dot update quantity. We'll pass here model dot product ID, and here we have our on item remove. Here we have cart product model. Here we will just do the same. We have to just copy this one and we will paste here, and here we will call cart view model dot remove a cart item. Here we have model dot product ID. Then here we have the quantity. We will put here model dot quantity. Now here we have to create one more widget, and we'll put here visit underscore cart list. We have our widget reference ref. Here we will have final cart state is equal to ref.watch cart items provider. Here we will check if cart state dot cart model is equal to null. That means we are doing that first time, or you can say that data is getting load. We will return here constant linear progress indicator, and here we will check if cart state dot cart model dot products dot is empty. That means we don't have any product in the cart. We will just show here return constant center. Here we are using the center visit child. We will show here text visit cart empty, and from here we will return underscore build cart items, and here we will pick from our cart state dot cart model dot products. Here in the build we have to return here scaffold visit. Here we have app bar, and we are using a app bar title as a constant text visit cart. Then we have our body, and we are using a container. Here we have the child, and we are using a column visit. Here we have main X alignment. We are using a main X alignment dot start. Then we have our cross X alignment, and we are using a cross X alignment dot start. Then we have the children's here, and we have to use here flexible visit child. We are using here underscore cart list, and the flex we are using here 1. So one thing we have to do more is to use here the bottom navigation bar for showing the checkout button and all, and the grand total. And for that we have to create one visit here as a, you can say, new class underscore checkout bottom nav bar extends consumer visit, and here we will overwrite visit build context visit reference ref, and here we have final cart provider is equal to ref.watch cart items provider dot notifier. Here we will check if cart provider dot cart model, and here we have to remove this notifier, and we have to call it dot cart model is not equal to null. We will return here cart provider dot cart model not of products dot is not empty. Then we will show here the visit. We are using a container. Then we have the child here. We are using a container visit. Height we are using a 50. Then we have the decoration. We are using a box decoration. Color we are using a colors dot green color. Then we have the border radius, and we are using a border radius dot circular 10. And here we have the child, and we are using a padding we are using a edge instant dot all 8. Then we have the child here, and we are using a row visit. Then we have the children's here, and before that we will put here main X alignment dot space between. So in the left hand side we will show that total amount, and in the right hand side we will show the proceed to checkout button. Here we have the text visit. We will show here total $. We'll pick from our config dot currency, and before that we have to import this dot currency. Then we have $, cart provider dot cart model dot grand total, and we will put here exclamation sign dot grand total dot toString. And here we have to import this cart.dot file, and here we will put the styling here. We put a style text style. We have color colors.white color. Then we have our font weight, and we are using a font weight dot bold. We will make this as a constant here. Then we have our next text. We will put a constant text proceed to checkout. Here we have the style. We are using a text style. Color, we are using a colors.white color. Then we have a font weight. We are using a font weight dot bold, and we have font size. We are using a 15. And here in the else condition, we will just show here size box, and we will put a constant. So what we did here, we have just created, and here also we have to put return constant size box. So what we did here, we have just created one class with the consumer visit. In the build, we have that cart provider, and here we are checking if the cart provider dot cart model is not of null. Then here we are just also checking if the products are not empty. Then we are just showing here the container with that box decoration. Then we have the text visit. And then we have the row visit with the two texts. First one is for total, showing the grand total. Then the second one in the right hand side will be proceed to checkout. And this visit we have to just call from here, and we'll put here bottom navigation bar, and we'll put here. So now we will assign this cart page in our dashboard. We will go to our dashboard page. Here in the third one, we will change it to, in the second one, we will change it to cart page, and we'll put a constant, and we will import the file here. So now our code is ready. So now let's move further, and now we will test the application to see is it working or not. So this is our application. So now if I click on the cart link, you can see here we are getting a cart empty because we don't have any product right now in our cart. So now we will go to our any product detail. Here you can see we have that stepper and the add to cart button. If I click on the plus sign here, now means that we have going to add the two quantities. And now if I click on the add to cart, now let's see. So here the product is not coming. So let's see what the issue is. So here we have the mistake in the array. We have to change it to products, not the product. So now if I again click here, now if I click on the add to cart, now if I click on to cart button, here you can see we are getting that cart item added here. And here I can see two things. First one is that look and feel is not good for the bottom bar. Now let's give some spacing over there. Here we have to give some padding. So now you can see it is looking better now. And the second mistake, I can see here that grand total is not coming properly. So it is showing only the product price. We have to show the total product as per the quantity also. So for that also we have to go to our model file. Here we have cart.dot file, and here we have the product price, and we will multiply with our e.product.quantity. So now you can see we are getting a grand total coming properly fine with the number of quantity. So from here we will increase the quantity. We will click on the plus sign. You can see here the grand total is also coming increasing, and also that quantity has been increased. So now if I reload the application to see, if I go to the cart, you can see here we are getting 3 quantity. Price is also coming fine, grand total price. So now if I decrease the quantity, if I decrease once more, now if I reload the application, here you can see we are getting only 1 quantity here. That means our add to cart increase and decrease quantity is also working fine. So now let's see the last step, that is remove items. If I click on the remove, and now the item has been removed. If I reload the application to see, here you can see the item has been removed from the database. So that's all in this video. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share. I will come back with another awesome video. Thank you for watching the video.